Hi, and welcome to another episode of Starship Gaming. Before we get started, I cannot stress enough, do not forget to subscribe. It really helps out, it helps the channel grow. If we can't get subscribers, we can't continue making awesome videos. So go ahead and take a moment to smash that subscribe button. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And do not forget to hit the bell if you want notifications of when we make more awesome videos. Now let's jump right into today's topic. So, not too long ago, as of the recording of this video, I made a top 5 list of the best Nintendo 64 games. And, well, I asked which one we should copy next, and literally no one responded. No surprise. So, now we are going to do a top 5 best PS1 Sony PlayStation list. Well, first of all, I just want to say that your opinions may differ from mine, and so let's jump right into it. Number 5 on the list is Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross is one of those games that, well, it looks very, just by looking at it, you would think it's difficult, but once you get into it, it's actually a really decent RPG. Now, as a kid, I didn't play this game, but when I became an adult, when I was about 19, 20 years old, I actually found a copy of this secondhand at my local Goodwill for about $1.95. So that was one that I picked up and played and absolutely loved it. Number 4 on our list is Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. Now, Crash Bandicoot is one of those games that it has a history of being honestly a really awesome game. And just wanted to let everybody know, Spyro didn't make the top 5. It is in the top 10 though, and I know a lot of you are disappointed, but I feel that for this top 5 list, Crash is just a little bit more iconic than Spyro, and especially with, you have all these remasters and everything coming out lately. Of course, we finally got a official, not really an official, but we got a sequel. Crash Bandicoot 2 is a little bit more iconic than some of the other entries in the series. So that is mostly why it made the top 5. And this game, honestly, I remember actually being given this game as a gift from my mom's friend when I was 6 years old. Apparently my friend did something, got grounded, so his mother literally gave away his PS1 games. Literally gave away like 20 of them, and this was one of them that I ended up getting gifted to me, so to speak. So I have a lot of warm memories with this game. And the reason that I think that it's, number 5 in the top 5, number 4 on the list, is mostly because it's really iconic. It adds to the gameplay that we saw in the first Crash Bandicoot, and it's just an awesome game in general. Number 3 on our list is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Now, this is a game that I remember getting nightmares from when I was a kid. I owned this game, and I used to play it in the dark, or I used to play it around Halloween for several years when I was a kid, up until like 2004 or 5. And this is one of those games that it's an iconic series. Of course, the Castlevania series started way back on the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System. And, having it finally on a PlayStation with updated graphics, all the jazz, all the bells and whistles. And it had a really amazing story. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is one of these games that it definitely deserves a spot in the top 5. A lot of people would place it possibly even number 1 or 2 on their list, but for me, I gotta place it at number 3. Number 2 on the list is Metal Gear Solid. I spent many hours playing this game with one of my childhood friends. It was just such an amazing game. Words cannot describe it. It's just wow. And it's a series that even continues today. You gotta thank Kojima for what he did, for the Metal Gear Solid series, or Metal Gear in general. and it was just wow. And it definitely deserves its spot on the top 5 list as number 2. Some would even place it as number 1, but I think number 1, when we mention it, a lot of people will be like, yeah, I agree, But of course, this is my personal opinion on a top 5 list. You may have a totally different opinion, but Metal Gear Solid at number 2 it's an iconic game. It definitely deserves to be in the top 5. And, it was released during a time when more cinematic type video games were starting to come out. And I think this was one of the first major ones to really set the stage for that. And even today, a lot of people still come back to this game, still love it, and it's just such a classic. And number 1 on our list is Final Fantasy VII. I think a lot of people knew this was coming, and a lot of people, will say, oh, this is cliche, everyone, puts this as their top, puts it in their top 5 or puts it as number 1, but honestly, this game earned its spot as the number 1 best Sony PlayStation PS1 game. See, Final Fantasy VII was the first major Final Fantasy game released in a few years. The last 2 that had came out were released on the Super Nintendo, and it confused a lot of people why it suddenly jumped to Final Fantasy VII, straight from Final Fantasy III. Well, it's no secret. You probably already know it by now. Yeah, here in the United States, we didn't exactly go in order. We eventually played the other games, but, you get the gist of it. So when Final Fantasy VII came out, and it was exclusive to the Sony PlayStation, and people got their hands on it, it just completely blew everyone's mind. And if you haven't played this game, you definitely need to play it. This is one of those games that you at least need to play once in your lifetime, because this game is just that awesome. And among other things, other lists, also listed as one of the, if not the number 1, one of the top 5 or top 10, or, if not number 1, best RPGs of all time. Of course, this came across 3 discs, and it has a rather large story. I recently started playing this game again, and it's just as enjoyable as it was when I played it back in the late 90s. And if you enjoy RPGs, definitely pick this up. And definitely, if you collect PS1 games or, all around everything PlayStation, then this definitely needs to be in your collection. So this definitely earns the number 1 spot of top 5 best PS1 video games of all time. Of course, like I said, you may disagree with this list. Tell me your top 5. What would you put as your top 5? Or do you agree with this list? Do you disagree with this list? Let me know in the comments down below. So, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe. It really helps out. It helps the channel grow. So, take a moment to smash that subscribe button. And if you like the video, don't forget to like it and hit the bell if you want notifications of when we make more awesome videos. And until next time, I will see ya.